Good morning, guys. Someone asked me about this one yesterday. It looks okay. Tesla, I only got in at third side yesterday. I bought 1,300 shares, and now it's going straight up. And yeah, what messed up this trade was that it had these 2 weekdays coming into the announcement. It would have been much better if they had announced it 2 or 3 days ago, because then we would have gotten a clean break of this 15-20 range. And then I would have bought, I would be in 3,000-4,000 shares of this thing. Now, I had to chase it a little bit and only buy a third size. Yep, whoever mentioned Tiger is a Tiger King. Absolutely. Someone mentioned it in the 580s yesterday. That was a good call. I don't remember what I said about the setup. I think I said it was okay, but I wasn't super excited about it. And it went straight up. Did I say 3.5 star? No, I didn't. I must have said at least 4 stars. Come on. Did I say 3.5 star? Oh, fuck off. Domo. Yeah. Yesterday, maybe it's not really a clean one. Like it had a good setup here. You know, here it had a decent setup. Here it had a good setup. Here, you know, but this, yeah, nah, I don't know. Not really. I mean, it could work, but it's not really that great. I did like Tiger. That's what I remember too. I remember liking it a lot. Uh, I see LK now. Not yet. Fluidime? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe. Pinterest is looking good. Pinterest, I actually added a little bit to my position yesterday. I really like the undercut of the 10-day and reclaim. So I added another 20,000 to my position. But to get a good setup, the ones I'm trying to teach you, you know, it probably needs another 3-5 days of sideways, 10 days. I think the 20-day needs to catch up a little bit more. Codex, yeah, but it's gapping up a lot in pre-market. But yeah, I could bounce, absolutely. All right, let's look at potential setups. I'm looking at IGC for a potential short. Hopefully it goes to $4 or $5. Fastly, you know, this thing is kind of starting to bounce off the 50-day, building higher lows. It's not really a clean setup, but it could work. It could work. Or, you know, yeah, it depends. We'll see. Beely is another one. Nah, it's not that great. Livongo too. Like a lot of these setups that undercut their rising 20 and 50 days, they're now building higher lows, and you know, we'll see. Like a lot of them, they all look pretty much the same. TDOC, this one is on the 100-day. It's a bit slower. Actually, I'm taking this one off because TDOC and Livongo trade the same. Coupa on the 50-day. Twitter is surfing the 20-day. I think this one could be good. PDD is not really tight. CRSP, I mean, looks okay, not that great. I'm watching Overstock to add to my existing short. If it loses the Sadie high 87 area today, this thing has another 20-30% of clean downside. BNTX may bounce off the 50-day also. A lot of them are like looking similar. We'll see. I'm not super excited about any of those for now. A lot of China names are reporting today. Dow and Futu have really good earnings and really good estimates for the next few years, but they're both too illiquid for me to trade. But I'll have them on watch over the next few months, see what happens with them. Yeah, guys, I'm not gonna comment on any shorts. Like, if you're asking me about shorts, you shouldn't do it. You know, most of you shouldn't do any shorting. Shorting is a whole different game. I think most of you are gonna get in trouble shorting stuff. So I'm not gonna comment on any. Yeah, and options too. I'm not gonna look. It's a sucker's game. PE, I'm watching. It's a hot sector. It lost some momentum recently, but this thing had a huge contract, and you know, it's a very exciting story. It's a thinner type of name, but I'm watching it. It pulled back. Now it's surfing above the 50-day. But you know, I'll buy some if it starts looking good. I bought some INO yesterday late day, or not late day, midday. It was really tight. I bought it somewhere like low 13s, very low 13s. Bounced off the rising 150 day. You know, this thing went down, what, 40% in 3 days? It's just a reverse mean reversion, like a reverse mean reversion short. Just a variation. One of my main setups. Overstock may be my main watch. It looks like it's gapping up a bit, but if it loses this high 87 area, you know, this thing could easily pull back another 15, 20, 25% over the next few sessions, I think. But we'll see. Tesla, I'm not gonna sell a single share unless we hit 2,000. Not a single share, or unless I get to add on a good tight area. Right now it's just straight up. It's unfortunate it had these 2 weak days coming into the announcement. Like, you know, I would be in 3 times as much size. I got in a better buy point. I may teach you. Like right now, there's a lot of trouble. People can't grasp this one simple setup. I don't know if there's a lot of new people coming in daily or not, but because I've had the same amount of viewers for the last week or so. So I'm not gonna teach you any new setups unless, you know, people start getting this one simple setup I'm trying to teach and get the scans right, etc., etc. All right, markets are open. Took a starter short in IGC. I just bought 40,000 shares of this BE. Wow, SCDG breaking out to new highs. That's the power of relative strength. I would have preferred another 3 to 5 days of sideways, but you know, it's what it is. EMPH, nah, I think it needs more sideways, but it could work, I guess. EMPH and SCDG are in the two hottest stocks in the one of the hottest sectors. I got stopped out of IGC. I bought 11,000 shares of T-Doc. This thing tends to pull back to the 50, 100 day moving average and then bounce. This is not a great breakout stock, it's more of a pullback stock. Oh wow, IGC, nice. Higher it goes, the better. I'll just cover up my last fiver. It's a tiny position. It looks like it's bouncing off the 10 so far. Well, I'll cover my last 3,000 shares. Just a minimal position. CWH looks like a decent setup. I actually kind of like it. This one looks like a good setup. It's been surfing the 20 for many months, and now it's kind of surfing above the 50, building higher lows and starting to take out this range. I'm not trading it because it's a bit too thin for me. Someone mentioned SVM earlier. This thing looks really good. This is a five. Oh wow, this is a really good setup. Especially if it can't break out today. If it breaks out like tomorrow or like early next week, this is a potential. Like right now, it's maybe a 4-star, but if it goes sideways just one more day, puts in a tight range, this is a really good setup. Look at how linear and clean it is. It's been surfing the 20-day, and now it's been in a tight range, building higher lows, while silver has been pulling back. Silver had a sharp pullback, and this thing has been building higher lows. I really like this one. It's a very thin stock, so there's no way I'm gonna ever trade it, but Crocs, it's a little bit of a, yeah, it's a maybe setup. Not today, but maybe, you know, it's a maybe setup. Maybe for tomorrow if it puts in a tight candle today. NTN. What about NTN? This SHLL looks intriguing. It's a very thin stock, but it's been relentlessly building higher lows. Look at how tight this thing is between the 20 and 10 day, and now it's breaking out of this range. Like, this could be a really good setup. I like just how relentlessly it's been building higher lows above the 50 day. It's just super tight. Just ultra thin stock though. CLDR, no, it's not a good setup. It's been going sideways too long. Like, it's been below the 50 day for too long. Now it needs some kind of news or something to, you know, it needs to break out on news. Or earnings or something. Sphere, I already talked about it. It looks okay. I know I've been selling some from yesterday. I think this thing could bounce back to like 16, 17 bucks maybe. Overstock so far failing on the declining 20 EMA on the 60-minute chart. For now, but it's still above the 10 day on the daily chart, so it could, you know, go sideways. It needs to break this trend line here for me to add to the short. Probably not gonna get there today, but maybe tomorrow. Tesla, I would love to see a pullback to the low 1500s area. Or to the rising 10, 20 EMAs on the 60-minute chart. Netgear, Yeah, you guys are still, mentioning these low ADR stocks. Like, does it look like a decent setup? Sure, but it's really, don't trade this. None of you should trade stocks that have ADRs less than 5. And if you can't find any good setups among the stocks with ADRs above 5, guess what? You don't trade. It's that simple. SDGR, no. No, I don't really like it. Could work, but not for me. Kumu, yeah, maybe. It's just an incredibly liquid stock. Yeah, that's also something. Breakouts haven't really had a lot of follow through. It's been choppy. The past like month has been a bit choppy for breakout buying. I've had some nice ones, like W was a home run. TTD was a nice one, even though it stopped me out. It just had to close below the 20-day moving average, which is a bit annoying. But then also a lot of things that haven't had follow through. It's not like back in May and June and July, or May and June, like things were going straight up, and also April. But lately I've had a lot of nice short trades like GSX, Livongo, NVAX, like really like home run trades. Livongo I fucked up a bit, but NVAX was a home run. And Overstock could still be there could still be $1 million for the taking on this one. ADR stands for average daily range, if you're talking about my indicator. But then it also stands for American Depository Receipt, which are the foreign stocks traded on the US markets. So it depends on the context. Oh shit, IGC. No, I missed entry on it. I have it right in front of me and I missed entry on it. Really? Maybe on pops. I'm gonna try to get back in on pops. I'm not gonna do any big size on this thing. 643. Let's see, where is the range on this thing? Tupperware, I don't think it looks that good right now. It's needs a few more days. A lot of the early breakout attempts are starting to fade. I don't like that. Or actually not a lot, some of them, but we'll see. It's still early in the day. I have a third size long on Tesla, 1,300 shares. I covered my shorts like in the high 1400s and in like 1470s. And then I went long in the low 1500s starter size. Like I wanted to see a decent pullback back to like 1490s to add more, but then it just went straight up. So I'm sitting on it like 1,300 shares, low 1500s average. I'm just dying to double or triple my position, but only on a good setup. No. If it goes up, I'm not gonna sell it with the position I have. If it doesn't give me another long entry, you know, the only times I'm gonna sell it is one, it stops me out, or it goes to 2,000 plus. Then I'm gonna start selling some. Because now with the small size I have, I almost need a $50 move to make some decent money on it. Let's say 500k plus. Because the setup, I'm a little bit frustrated. This was $1 million plus opportunity, and it was a little bit tricky one. Nah, no, not low of the day. It would be too wide. My stop on Tesla is like high, like 1490s. Like if it falls back into the range and loses like the 20-day moving average, I'll get out. Low of the day, that would have been too wide of a stop because it was deep in the range. You still have to maintain your risk reward. Can't use like a, too wide of a stop. TDoc, yeah, taking out the highs now. I have 11,000 shares. Damn, I should have maybe added a bit more. Livongo and TDoc, they trade. I should have maybe bought Livongo because Livongo has a bit higher ADR and it's kind of stronger too. This thing is at the 20-day. TDoc is at the 100-day. So, but it's a bit late now. They're merging, so they trade exactly the same. So one is gonna go up, the other is gonna go up too. But this is gonna be a longer hold for me. I think eventually this thing can go back to like mid 200s and maybe even up to like 300 plus or something over the next few months. I like it on weekly too, and undercut the 20 on the weekly and now it reclaimed. Like this is for me like a multi-month trade. It's a position trade. BE. BE has some nice volume. It's already like almost half of the average or of the past 3 days volume. So it's gonna be probably maybe hopefully like a 4 or 5 million share day. Wow, this thing has some good numbers. Ultra thin though, but this thing has had a triple-digit revenue growth for at least 2 years. It's an old cannabis pump. Interesting name. Very thin though. Oh, I think I got filled on some of IGC short. Yeah. Got filled on some shares. Amazon is kind of breaking out from this little formation. Too bad it had such a wide day yesterday. It would have been much better if it was tight yesterday. Would have been cleaner setup. But it's a slower mover. But this thing, you know, I think Amazon goes to 4,000. I really do. It's just coming off, trying to come off a high tide flag. But preferably go sideways for like another week or so. But Google breaking out. Look at this. Google has been surfing the 50-day. Now this is obviously an ultra slow stop, but it's a good sign for the overall markets that we have these mega caps, you know, trying to break out, like Amazon. What's Facebook doing? Yeah, Google, Amazon. Obviously, you know, they're just too slow to trade. Twitter, I don't know. Nah, it's just Twitter is, I don't know, not yet. I don't think. I don't think so. I hope it doesn't go higher today. I want to trade next week on Twitter. Yeah, this W, yeah, it looks like it's working on another high tide flag. This thing is just unbelievable. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on. It's up 1100% since the March lows. And they just can't dip it. This was like 3 days ago when the markets dipped. This thing was like the strongest stock out there. And now it's building a new range. It's unbelievable. Maybe this thing goes to 500 before the summer is over. It's crazy. Relentless. Absolutely relentless. And look, maybe later next week, hopefully we get a nice setup. I will add. I'm still long, like a quarter size from the breakout here. I'm still long 2,500 shares, but hey, I'll buy 10,000 shares if you get a good setup. I'll buy another 10k shares. TDUX straight up, nice. I wish I had bought more. Should have bought more shares. I know I've been slowly scaling out. Wait, BE is at 1466? Wow, this thing's straight up. Let's see, what's... Oh, I never got filled on all of my shares. I only got filled on like 38,700. Alright, I guess I'll have to cancel that order. Doesn't feel like it's gonna dip back to 1363. Let's see here. Oh wow, it's up like 9% from entry. I'm selling a couple of dozen of BE here. It's a big move. Just sold a tiny bit. Like those of you, you know, you shouldn't sell any. Like you guys should sell after 3 to 5 days. You sell a third to half, and then you use the 10-day as your trailing stop. I trade a little bit differently because, you know, I have a bigger account and I need to kind of be selling when there are buyers. Otherwise, I may get into trouble on some of those names. Looks like I may get stopped out of NVAX. Yeah, 3 to 5 days. Yes, even after a 10% move in one day. Because 10% is not a lot. Look at the ADR on this thing. Average daily range is 10%. This is normal for this thing. This is why you should be in high ADR stocks. This is how you build, you know, aggressively build your accounts. You're not gonna get this kind of a move buying, you know, some piece of shit slow stock. You know, and then it goes up another 10% tomorrow, and then another 10% the day after, right? Okay, it's probably not gonna, but you know, that's the point in being fast. It's, you know, 10% is like the average daily range for this thing. Yeah, after 3 to 5 days, after you sold your first third or half shares, that's when you move your stop to break even. And then you trail the rest with the 10-day moving average. How much? Like I usually risk nowadays between most trades around 0.2 to 0.5% of my account ish. Sometimes less, sometimes more. I rarely risk more than 1%. Like you guys should you guys should be risking a little bit more, those of you with smaller accounts, but maybe you should probably never risk more than 1.5 or 2% of your account on any given trade. And you should never put more than 20, you say 25% of your money in any individual stock. 2%, 2% of your account, not including margin. You never include margin when you do those calculations. Damn, these solar names are just so relentless. Look at Tan, had two really good setups. This is Solar ETF, a slow ADR, but you know, just to illustrate what a good setup is. And down here. Or this wasn't as good, I guess, but you know. How's my download going? Wait, why is it queued? No, it shouldn't be queued. Cancel install. Oh, okay, that's why. Alright. Guys, for those of you who like the Total War games, the new Total War game is for free on Epic Games, but you have to claim it today. And then you get to keep it for free. Pro tip. Spend the money you save on like TC2000 or something. You're downloading Troy as well? A great minds think alike. What can I say? I never played the Warhammer games. You spent 1,000 hours? Wow. Holy shit. Play outside? Playing outside is for losers. I play outside with my car all the time. There are inside toys and there are outside toys. Or there are inside games or outside games. This PDD is setting up for potentially tomorrow or next week. Hey, look, guys. If you get something good for free, you take it. Doesn't matter how much money you have. You claim it, okay? Why would I pay for the game if I can get it for free like today? Like, you know, I literally don't have to do anything. I had to, you know, log into my Epic Games account and just click install on this thing. That's just how easy it is. PDD 21st. Yeah, that's not next Friday. That's in 6 sessions, so that's fine. Yeah, Rome. Yeah, Rome was good. Both Rome 1 and Rome 2 I played. Those are the ones I played the most. Like Rome 1 is the one I played the most back in like 2006, and lately, like 4 or 5 months ago, I played a lot of Rome 2 also. Siegen. Oh, it's absolutely not a great. Oh my god, this is absolutely not. This is really bad. It's look at how choppy this thing. There's no trend on it. Like look at the moving averages. They're all over the place. It's a horrible, 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 horrible stock. This is the type of stock you want to see. When the moving averages are trending higher, right? And the stock makes a clean moves, right? That's the type of stock you want to be in. Like a stock that's like orderly, right? It keeps doing these orderly moves. But something like this, like look at, I get a headache just by looking at the chart. Momentum strategies work in every market. Momentum strategies work in every market. They work in every asset class. And they have been for 200 years. AMD needs a couple of weeks to set up. SHLL, this, oh wow, SHLL, holy shit, it's going now. For those of you who were early on this thing, you know, this is the type of stock that could go to 30 plus. It's in a very hot sector, EV stock. What's NIO doing? NIO, okay. What's my thesis on IGC? IGC is just a random pump, like Robin Hooders are chasing this thing. No reason to be in, you know, there's no reason for this thing to go up 600% on this news. They're just initiating, they got an FDA approval to initiate a cannabinoid study. Like that study is probably gonna burn tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions. It's gonna take many years. Like, if anything, the stock should be going down on it. And they're probably doing an offering soon. You know, you have to. When the liquidity is there, you have to. But, you know, technically this thing is up, you know, a lot. 2 days in a row. Like, I never short on day 1, but on day 2, day 3, that's usually when stocks, you know, can fade hard. But it's not a high conviction setup. Like, it would be better if it closes strong today and goes to 7-8 bucks tomorrow. That would be a high conviction trade. But today I'm just doing tiny size. I'm literally doing like 5th size or 7th size or something, like really tiny size. No conviction at all. Mostly get my gambling urge out of the way, or my trading urge. This GBTC is starting to set up for next week. Like, I'm long, let's see, 57,500 shares of this thing. But if we get another 3 to 5 days of sideways and the 20-day catches up, we get a breakout, I'll buy more. I'll double up. I'm gonna double up. This thing, you know, Bitcoin keeps going. This thing is gonna go to 20, 30 bucks. Well, you know, you usually close it, like sell end of the day, like before the close, when it's obvious it's gonna close below the 10-day. Yeah, but like, you mean it went sideways for many months? It did. But the AMD was still much cleaner than Seagen. Seagen is, you know, AMD is a market leader. Like, Seagen is just a random piece of shit biotech stock. Like it's just not good looking. It's very shoppy. Why are my charts lagging? Okay, now I'm getting... No, they're still lagging. I don't like that. Scoopa looks like it's bouncing off the 50-day. Is anyone else's TC2000 slow? Do I think it's, you know, if it breaks 40? Oh, 46. I don't know. I don't have no idea. Anything is possible. With high ADR stocks, anything is possible. This thing has a 9% ADR. Anything is possible. BVXV, no. BVXV had a really good 5-star setup. 2 5-star setups. This is shit. Right now it's shit, but this is what a good setup looks like. This is a 5-star setup. Memorize this. Put it in your chart database. And another one here, continuation breakout. Boom. Those are 5-star setups. But there's nothing here right now. BE wasn't on any of my scans. It's one of my watch lists. It's a hot sector, fuel cell sector. I'm tracking this stock specifically. They got a big contract with like Samsung Heavy Industries. They're gonna do a fuel cell like ships. So that's how I found it. Wasn't on any of my scans. Square, no, not yet. Needs to go sideways a bit. Like Square, this thing could, you know, it's getting tight, but there's no setup. Like here there was a 5-star setup on it. I don't know why I didn't trade it because, you know, I was long a bunch of other stuff, but right here, 5-star setup. Twilio, yeah, it's setting up, kind of surfing above the rising 50-day. Yeah, maybe next week. Maybe next week. Pinterest is setting up. Maybe as soon as tomorrow there may be a setup in it. Like if it puts in a tight range day, day today. Like if it doesn't go any higher today, there could be like a 3.5 stars, 4-star setup on it for tomorrow. But ideally it goes sideways for another 3 to 5 days. That would be ideal. So the 20-day can catch up and then breaks out. Oh, Tesla. Fucking Tesla. I've never been so like pissed off over like a of a trade that works. Like it kind of hurts. Like every ticket goes higher, you know, I'm thinking, hey, I'm in a third size. A little bit frustrating. LSA is acting really well. Like this thing I have very high hopes for. Again, it's a position trade, not a swing trade for me. Holy shit, BE. Just keeps going. Very nice. Twitter, oh, Twitter is trying to go. Twitter. I don't know about this one yet. It's still kind of range bound. It's not a clean setup. I would have preferred to get a breakout tomorrow or next week. EBS. Okay. Sector rotation, how do you apply that? Just focus on good setups. That's how you apply sector rotation. Yeah, well, you know, Twitter is just for me only, not for you guys. Twitter is for me only. Only I get to trade Twitter. It has too low ADR. SRPT is trying. Also low ADR, but I have no choice. But yeah, exactly. Sam. It's a very shoppy name. Like there's no good setup here. ZS. No, not yet. Maybe next week if it can get tighter. Hey guys, I'm gonna go. You know, if you looked at my, if you checked my about page lately, I updated it yesterday with my favorite books. Like everyone should, you know, review this page now and then, because I keep adding stuff to it. But my absolute favorite trading book is Reminiscences. Wait, I think I misspelled it. Remini. No, it is right, correctly spelled. It's Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. It's about Jesse Livermore, one of the greatest traders ever lived. Like Joe Fahmy posted yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, Jesse Livermore's trading rules. I'm gonna go through them. These are the exact same things I'm trying to teach you. Like there's nothing new under the sun. Like the same things still apply. It's really not rocket science or anything revolutionary I'm trying to teach you guys. It's just basic, simple stuff. Let's go through his rules. Here, look at this. Nothing new ever occurs in the business of speculating or investing in securities and commodities. Except it's the same thing. It's human nature. The same things over and over again. The only things that change are the companies and the people and the products. The same things over and over again. Here, money cannot consistently be made by trading every day or every week during the year. Absolutely. You gotta wait for those setups. You can't be trading every day. Don't trust your own opinion and back your judgment until the action of the market itself confirms your opinion. Another thing, your opinions are shit. And the less money in your trading accounts, the more shit your opinions are. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Opinions don't matter. You have to trade price action. Markets are never wrong, opinions often are. Yes. I've experienced it too many times in my life. Every year I'm, trading less on my opinion and more on price action. The real money made in speculating has been in commitments showing profit right from the start. That's also my observation. Usually when you buy a stock and it just keeps going straight up, those are usually the best ones. You don't want the stock to pull back. You want it to go up. As long as the stock is acting right and the market is right, do not be in a hurry to take profits. I agree. That's why you need to be using a trailing stop, like for example the 10-day moving average, because you never know how high a stock can go from entry. Like for example, look at NVAX. This one I fucked up. I thought this thing was done in low 80s. I sold all of my position. I bought it here on this 5-star setup. It ran up, what, 60, 70% in 2 weeks? I was like, hey, it's not going to go higher. And after I sold it, it went up another 130%. And it never closed below the 10-day. You would have gotten stopped out here if you bought it here. If you had followed the rules, which I didn't because I'm an idiot. I had an opinion, and my opinion was shit. I should have just stuck to the rules. Okay, next one. One should never permit speculative ventures to run into investments. Yes. You should obey your stops. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out. You don't start rationalizing stuff. Oh, but it's because of this, it's because of that, oh, it will come back. No. If you get stopped out, you stop yourself out. No second guessing. The money lost by speculation alone is small compared with the gigantic sums lost by so-called investors who have let their investments ride. Yes. Well, this is kind of like this again. This is written after the Great Depression. These rules, obviously, a lot of people lost all of their everything in the markets, because the markets went down 90% from 29 to 32. That's kind of extreme, but that's so he kind of didn't believe in buy and hold investing. That's what it means. Never buy a stock because it has had a big decline from its previous high. Yes. Just because, a stock has, gone down a lot doesn't make it cheap. Like, you shouldn't just randomly dip buy stuff. Only on good setups. You can buy a stock that has gone down, but only if you get a good setup. Never sell a stock because it seems high priced. Yeah. Valuation, use trailing stops. Valuations don't matter in momentum trading, and it's short to intermediate term swing trading. Like Jesse Livermore, he was like a swing trader, or a position trader. He held for like in the beginning, he was more like a day trader and short-term swing trader, and as he became better and his account started to grow, he became like, holding stuff for months and quarters. And he traded breakouts. He had a breakout system, and he was at one point one of the richest men in the United States. Not bad for a swing trader, right? That was back in the 20s, 30s. I become a buyer as soon as the stock market makes a new high on its movement after having a normal reaction. So what does that mean? Normal reaction is pretty much a pullback in a rising trend. And then he buys the breakout to new highs. Never average losses. Okay? If you buy something and it goes down, you don't buy more. Okay? You don't average down. Or if you short something and it keeps going higher. That's what averaging losses means. You only add to winners. The human side of every person is the greatest enemy of the average investor speculation. Yes. Like, you need to have a specific method or strategy. You can't let emotion dictate your trading or investing. You need to have a specific rule set. Because, you will never get rid of emotions. Emotions are always gonna be there, and that's fine. But you can't let your emotions dictate what you're gonna do. Wishful thinking must be banished. You have to follow price. Big movements take time to develop. This is what I realized back in 2012, about 2013, 2014, a couple of years after I started trading. Like, I just looked at a bunch of charts. I'm like, wait, so let's say I day traded some stock, let's say I day traded something like Fastly, or, this is just hypothetical example. I'm looking at the chart a couple of months later, and I'm like, wait, what? The stock is up 100 or 200%. I'm like, wait, why did I have to day trade it if I just held it, right? So I realized I had to, find a method or system to trade stocks and hold them for longer, because, big moves don't usually happen in a day. They take weeks and months to develop. So that's when I started researching swing trading. I found StockBee, which is a very good swing trading site. And I am very thankful I realized it early. I'm like, why am I day trading for tiny moves when you can, hold for longer and get big moves? It's not good to be too curious about all the reasons behind price movements. Yes. Usually what you think is moving a stock, it may not be that thing moving the stock, no matter what media says or anyone says. Like, we always try to rationalize movements. Oh, it's Trump. Oh, it's China. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Boo-hoo. There's always something you think are moving the stock, but, it may not be. At the end of the day, it's all supply and demand. It's just simple supply and demand. Sometimes stocks go up on good news. go down on bad news, but sometimes they go down on bad news. Down on good news and up on bad news. There's no point in trying to overthink things. It's much easier to watch a few than many. Yes, better to focus on the best setups than having like if you have like five-star setups, which is like an extreme scenario. Like there's no reason to even watch any 4-star setups if there are several 4-star setups too. But if there are no like 4-stars, like 5-star setups, then you can just watch the 4-star setups. But there's no point in watching any 3-star setups. It's all about, focusing on a few of the best. If you cannot make money out of the leading active issues, you're not going to make money out of the stock market as a whole. If you can't make money on the momentum leaders, you're not gonna make money out of the stock market as a whole. This is why you focus on the momentum leaders. The leaders of today may not be the leaders of 2 years from now. Yes, the leaders are constantly changing. Very few stocks remain leaders for several years in a row. There are some extreme examples, but usually most stocks are maybe leaders for a year or two, and then they kind of they won't ever be a leader again. Do not become completely bearish or bullish on the whole market because one stock in some particular group has plainly versicruised from the general trend. So don't like base your market analysis on just one stock. You gotta look at like the big picture. What are most stocks doing? Or like most of the like leaders. What are the other leaders doing? Like if one leader starts acting as shit, doesn't mean like the whole market is bad. Few people make money on tips. Beware of inside information. If there was easy money lying around, no one would be forcing it into your pocket. Exactly. Like I'm sorry, but that smart friend of yours, who's really bullish on some random company, he probably has no idea what the hell he's doing. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. Unless he's like made a lot of money over like a long time period and he actually knows what the hell he's talking about. But your friend who has this hot stock tip, you should probably run the other way. All right, that's that. Jesse Livermore's trading rules. I agree with every single one of them. It's like this guy was still living and wrote down those rules yesterday. That's how accurate they are. For trading specifically. I just bought 30,000 shares of Fastly. I can't anticipate the intraday breakout. But it undercut the 50-day, and then it's been building higher lows. For 2 days it built higher lows and tight range, and now it's reclaiming the 50-day. David, you had a shit opinion. Hey David, Most of your opinions are shit. Guys, how much Tesla will go up? Does anyone know? No. Even Elon Musk doesn't know. Don't ask questions like that. Follow the rules. That's what the trailing stops are for. Then you don't have to ask questions like that. You let the market tell you. Were you day trading small caps, penny stocks all the time in the beginning? That's the only thing I traded, like micro caps and penny stocks. No one wants to be Livermore. Like, he had psychological problems. Like, he had depression and stuff like that. He wasn't emotionally stable, but his trading rules are timeless. There's so many lessons to learn from him. And the problem is he blew up several times because he didn't follow his own rules. You gotta follow the rules. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how much money you made. You don't follow the rules, you're gonna go get into trouble. I don't know what a volume profile is. I know what a Tinder profile is, but I don't know what a volume profile is. You have a problem with pulling the trigger? Well, what helps is study more setups, because if you can really get excited about a good setup, trust me, you're not gonna hesitate. Once it starts breaking, you're gonna be in it. Would you ever want to be a trader in a fund managing 200? Why would I? No, I don't want to be a trader in a fund. That means I'm gonna work for someone. I'm gonna get to 250 million on my own. In 10 years, I'll have 250 million on my own. I'm not gonna trade someone else's money. Livermore's granddaughter is in an interesting business. Oh, who? You gotta tell me. Really? MCRB short? No, I don't think it does. Hey, Moist Mango, who is Livermore's granddaughter? What would you do differently? Nothing. It's all about enjoying trading. I don't need any more money. It's not gonna make me more happy, but I enjoy trading. I think it's awesome. I like trading, especially when things are. Wait, is Brandy Love Livermore's granddaughter? No way. Wait, what? Supposedly? She's the great-granddaughter of stock trader Jesse Lauriston Livermore. Okay. I guess the family money is gone. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. I always use market orders. How the hell did Moist Mango figure out she's Jesse Livermore's great granddaughter? Like, it says so on Wikipedia, but like, you literally have to Google her and look, check up on Wikipedia. Like, who the hell figured that out? Hey, Moist Mango. You are right. You are right. She actually says that on her own, in her own Twitter bio. Interesting. FRPT. No. It's more sideways. It's not a aggressive stock. ADR is only 4 also. Oh wow, Fastly. Whoa, shit. Really? Oh, nice. Oh, maybe I should have bought more. Nah, I'm happy with the exposure I have. What was the setup? It was bounce of a key moving average. Like, I teach you guys to use the 10, 20, and 50, but I use some of the slower ones as well. Because I'm forced to, because I trade a lot on those larger cap names. Because they are the only ones that are liquid enough for me. How do I deal with the overnight risk? You know, you always have overnight risk. That's how you deal with it. It's never putting more than 25% of your account in a stock. That's how you deal with it. And also, you know, if you trade a biotech stock, you know, knowing that there's no outcome or something or earnings like in the next, you know, coming up. But you know, there's always gonna, you know, you're always gonna have gap ups or gap downs. And sometimes they gap below your stop, and you know you gotta get out as soon as possible. No second thinking. Well, you can trade over earnings if you have a profit cushion and already sold some. Is it true that Minervini and Sanger have most? I wouldn't be surprised if they had. Acre. Yeah, it's setting up. COVID-19 stock, very thin, but it's kind of setting up. It's a pretty decent setup. It's very clean. Surfing the 20-day, getting tight. It's a good setup. I like it. SHLL. Now this is the reason you trade high ADR stocks. You know, this is the reason. Already up 13% on the day, right? Has ADR of 6.8, so it's up about twice the average daily range. And this is how stocks move, right? You have a period of volatility, you have a period of tightness, and you know you gotta buy it when it breaks out of that tightness, and you get a period of volatility again. Kandi, yeah, Kandi is, yeah, maybe, you know, yeah, it probably needs a few more days, but it's a nice range. It looks good otherwise. LB, this is not really any of the setups we trade here, so you know. Yeah, UAVS is too really tight. This is a very clean setup, really clean, man. Surfing the 20-day, building higher lows, getting really tight. I don't look at market breadth. Like I don't look at this number. Like there's many ways you can count market breadth. But generally, you know, you can just see it, you know, just looking at the momentum leaders, how they act. Like, is the market acting well, or like how are they acting, right? I don't think I've been following a lot of these breadth indicators, but generally, I don't know. Like overall, I haven't gotten much value out of breadth indicators, in my opinion. Guys, buy it as they break out. There's no need to start, you know, and you know, like you know, you gotta let the stock tell you when it wants to go. There's no need to sit here and, you know, hoping it will break out. You know, just, you know, buy it as it breaks out. There's no need to sit there overthink things. Let the market tell you. Let the stock tell you what it wants to do. If UAVS wants to go up, it's gonna tell you. It's gonna scream in your face, hey, I wanna go up. Run. No. Overstock, yeah, maybe I'm gonna look for an ad point tomorrow, potentially. Yeah, Livongo and T-Doc, they trade the same, but I kind of should have done Livongo instead of T-Doc because Livongo has, it's a faster moving stock, but they trade exactly the same. But it's too late to buy it now, probably. Like if you, it's at 123, lows of the day is at what, 16, let's just say 117, that's 6. Or well, I guess you could buy it now, the average true range is 10.5. But you know, you gotta be early on these things. Like, you know, you gotta buy it, you know, early. The correct entry would have been like 118, 119, 120, not here. Like T-Dot, like I was ready on it, right? I had it on my watch list. My entry is where is it? 194.36. So it's, you know, I got in fairly early. I could have gotten in a couple of bucks earlier. I was a bit slow, but you know, I'm not buying it like 197. And Livongo, you know, you shouldn't buy it here. You should have bought it somewhere here, like 118, 120 area. You gotta be on these things, guys. You know, you gotta be early. You know, you can't come, you know, 2 hours later, and you know, if you want a good risk reward, you gotta be early on good setups. Like BE2, I had it on my watch list. I was early on it, right? As soon as I saw it started breaking this range, you know, on the daily chart, started breaking this 1340, 1350 area, you know, I bought it. 1361 is my average. Gotta be early. You see a good setup, you gotta be, you know, you gotta buy it as soon as it starts breaking. Some setups are a little bit like tricky. So I kind of hesitate a lot of times. I want them to prove themselves, but some stocks I just buy. Like as soon as they break, I buy them. I don't second guess. I don't think. I just buy them. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you know, those are the names usually that make big moves. D-Dog. Doku also bouncing off the rising 50-day. It actually didn't even hit the 50-day. Wow, what's the news on NTN? Oh, merger with what? Oh, okay. Merger agreement. Wow, SHLL. This is the reason you trade high ADR stocks. Seriously, starting next week, anyone who mentions slow stocks are gonna get muted. It's getting better. It's getting better. I think people are getting their scans in order. But you know, anyone who mentions stocks below 5 ADR are gonna get muted. These are the stocks you wanna trade, not some fucking, you know, like, I don't know, slow stock. I use for news. I use like Twitter. I use Fly on the Wall. I use like Seeking Alpha. I use Briefing. But I'm thinking about getting rid of Briefing. I really don't like. I use both the Fly on the Wall and Briefing, but I'm probably gonna get rid of Briefing. I rarely use it, very rarely. JWN. Not yet. Maybe later next week. Like I'm stalking a lot of these like cruise lines and airlines. Like we may get good setups on them if they can go sideways for another, you know, 2, 3, 4 days. Some of them could be looking really good. Like AAL, like if it can go sideways a little bit so that 10, 20 day can catch up, you know, it could be a good setup. Boeing, you know, maybe later next week. Sometime next week maybe. SPAC. It reminds me a little bit about SHLL. It's the same sector. Whoa, wait, what? They're same sector? Yeah, EV sector. You know what? It could work. Like, yeah, you know, it could be a decent setup, but it needs to start taking out that high 12 area, mid 12 area. Needs to get, yeah, it could be good. I really like it. It's surfing the 50-day, made a huge move, pulled back, and now it had an orderly pullback to the rising 50-day. It's similar to SHLL, made a huge move, pulled back. This one, you know, it did kind of pull back to the 50-day, but it was kind of surfing above the 50-day. Built higher lows, put in a tight range, and now it's breaking out. SPAC looks a little bit similar. So, yeah, it could be good. Could be good. Could be good. Fastly, oh yeah. So my main trades today have been buying BE, TDOC, and Fastly. And I shorted some IGC. I took loss on the first entry, and so I went pretty much long. How much? $4.5 million worth of stock between Fastly, TDOC, and BE. So I'm kind of happy with that. Now it's all about, you know, follow through. Are we gonna get follow through? Right now, I just don't see many other setups for today. But there are setups developing for tomorrow and next week still, so. No, I didn't get stopped out on Fastly. I bought it when it took out highs of the day. Or actually, you know, here's where I bought it. Just first it popped and it kind of pulled back. And then it started inching back, and I bought it 79.37 average. I kind of anticipated the highs of the day break. Well, you know, opening range depends on what time frame. I don't hedge, no, not much. I don't hedge for the sake of hedging. Like if I see a good short setup and I'm long a bunch of stock, I take the short setup. But I mean, I just, you know, hedging is just, you know, most of the time it's probably a waste of time. If you feel like you need to hedge, you should probably, you know, size down your positions a bit. This Roku is setting up for next week, still building higher lows. It's not the fastest one right now, but it's been holding up nicely. It's, next week would be nice if it breaks out. Another liquid now. Like for most of you, it's a bit slow, but for me, this is perfect. It's a liquid high price stock. Oh wow, Apple breaking out too. Holy shit. Yeah, look, guys, the trillionaires are breaking higher. There's a lot of good action. Like, there's a lot of, like, the stocks you want to go up are going up. The growth leaders, they're going up. The tech software names, and a lot of them are setting up for next week, tomorrow and next week. A lot of them. The CWH, this one is really good looking. This one is really good looking. It's a 5-star setup pretty much, or 4.5 at least. Alright, I'm gonna cut the stream now. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to the moderators, and yeah, happy trading.